back, everyone, to Master of the Universe podcast, episode 72. And today we're talking about Jack Frost, starring Michael Keaton. Right, Chris?
Exactly. Or is it Tom Hanks?
I knew it was someone like that, dude. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Anyway, so this was a Gabe pick just because he was going through his Christmas horror movies and shit. So, dude, I mean, what's on your list and what made you, look through Jack Frost, dude? I mean, besides the snowman gimmick.
Oh, man, there's it's the holidays, and I'm like, my mentality is always thinking like, hey, I want to see what horror movies I got for the holidays this time. So I'm scrolling through it. I see like Silent Night, Deadly Night. I see Krampus. I see all these kind of horror movies that have that holiday spirit. Even like newer ones, they got The Lodge and stuff like that. But one in particular that stuck out when I rented it a long time ago at Blockbuster was Jack Frost. Mm-hmm. The cover of the box was cool. It had like that little 3D image where if you move the box, all of a sudden it's like a happy snowman, and then it turns into like a scary looking kind of fucker thing. So it's cool. It's neat. That's what intrigued me. And then right when I plugged it into the damn TV, put it into the damn VCR, and I'm ready to watch this thing. Oh man, there's that intro, man, and I already started regretting what I watched. I started making that sad face that I can feel it, like, oh man, I got gypped. But then,
tell me a story.
It was a terrible. It's like, what is it? The Grinch Stole Christmas. Those the little green people, the ones that talk with that high pitched voice.
Yeah, the Who's down in Whoville.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounded, or like some kind of cartoon character. But you know what? By the end of it, it was pretty good. It wasn't, it was pretty neat. It's one movie I never forgotten though. It had some good moments. It's a comedy horror type of thing, but it was neat.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I remember seeing that in at Hollywood Video or whatever video store that I would go to, and it was fucking funny. Like I was a sucker for the gimmicks. You know what I mean? Like gimmick fucking movies. And this one was like, oh, I have to see it. And yeah, back then I thought it was horrible. And of course, now watching it, I thought it was pretty damn good. But back then I was just like, oh, this is the worst. But I guess, back then when you're comparing it to like, really good stuff, because, Freddy and Jason, and that's all or at least all I knew, I was like, oh, this is crap. But now seeing all the other stuff that we've seen, and we've seen some bad ones, Halloween H2O, but this one I see it, I'm like, man, this was pretty fucking good. But Chris, I mean, we'll let you go first, because you know how you like to say, well, y'all talked about everything. Oh yeah, we got Chris and the man beast here, of course. I don't know if I said that, but Chris, your first viewing, what did you think? What's going down? And how were the buffalo chicken quesadillas? Did have them, Sam?
Didn't have them. We haven't had those in a while. I need to make them again. But what did I think? I'll refrain from my rating until the end of this. But I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great. I wouldn't even say it was really good. I mean, it had its moments. I like the concept. The idea is great. Scott McMillan is good. Not Robert De Niro. Not freaking Robert Englund. Not Jackie Earle Haley. But he's good. I think the lack of this is what I think, honestly. It would have been a really good movie, but for the lack of a budget. I was reading just now a few minutes ago. Well, not a few minutes ago, maybe half hour ago. I was reading that the director said, or producer, whoever said, we did this film. He said, I've worked on films with a $30 million budget. He said, we did this film on the same budget as it cost for the catering for the movie. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's pretty apparent. I mean, if you had had an extra at least $500,000 or $1 million in the budget, I was going to say, like, an extra $500,000 or even $1 million in the budget, which in movie terms is nothing, would have done a lot for the CGI, so it wouldn't have come across so corny. Like, just the bad graphics and CGI of the snowman, I think, is what killed it. Otherwise, if you had had a budget for that shit, it would have come across like Hollow Man.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with you. I thought the snowman looked fucking great. I was laughing because it's comedic. It's comedically funny. Where you can't take it serious. It's a fucking snowman. Where it's a snowman. So I mean,
Yeah.
would a realistic snowman, do the movie any justice? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, when you
Yeah,
go
I
ahead,
think
man.
you're right. I don't think there's no amount of CGI money that could help that shit out, man.
Chris like
Well,
the
I have a
CGI, the
visual,
fucking snowman.
I have a visual in my head of like what it could have looked like and how it could have come across and how they could have shown it morphing in real time. And all this. A lot like the way they did with, damn it, what's a Hollow Man, where like he becomes like you see the flesh coming up and the muscles and the heart and all that stuff.
Yeah, but
And
it's
then he
supposed
does,
to be a person. It's supposed to be like a real person, like with a gimmick of being invisible. This is just a snowman. I mean, when I see the cover of the actual movie, they're two completely different things. And I actually like when you see the cover, you're like, oh, what kind of snowman's this? And then you see the actual movie, it's completely different. And I kind of enjoy it because it's like it is what it is. It's me and Gabe, when he had mentioned it, I vaguely remembered it, but I hadn't seen it since back in 2000ish or whatever, right? 98, 99. And I watched it, and it definitely had that Shocker vibe. It had a Child's Play vibe. It had a Freddy vibe, and all those guys that have in common is that they're kind of like quotable. They're over the top, and this is exactly. I don't know if y'all were listening to it. I know Gabe was. I don't know about Chris. He's kind of buzzing, but I was just like nonstop laughing every time that fucking Snowman came out. Like, I mean, we're gonna jump around because it's not one of those films that we're like, it's not the fucking Citizen Kane where it's a masterpiece. It's just a fun film, I thought. And it's when he gets hit by the truck at the end, and he goes, "Did anybody get the plate on that truck or some stupid shit?" I was like,
Yeah, I remember that. Damn truck came in and smacked his ass in it. And then even then they blew his ass up too, right? And he came back together, but he was all crooked.
"Yeah, look, Mom, I'm a Picasso." So it's just like I didn't think that part was funny, but that was like he was nonstop like that. Like I like when they're about to. The guy goes, "Hey, how does it feel, to come back from the dead?" Because Shocker, like Child's Play, and I said Shocker too, but like like Child's Play, it's a criminal that gets morphed into like another state of being, I guess, whatever, and he turns into a fucking snowman, like fucking Chucky turns into a doll. So same kind of shit.
Right. Yeah, because like what happens is that the sheriff of the town ended up arresting the serial killer. They got a hold of him, and so the cop is like having a flashback, saying like, "Oh, okay, well, end of the jury. They found him guilty, and he's gonna go ahead and get the death penalty or lock him up." Well, anyways, as he's going out, the serial killer, he's already threatening the cops, saying, "I'm coming back for you and all your family." So all of a sudden, it's like the day of, like, this is like Christmas coming up, and then he's in the patrol truck or like the transfer truck, so they can go ahead and take him to his demise, and sure enough, that truck ends up hitting like some kind of chemical truck. Was it GCC or something like that? And all of a sudden, those chemicals end up getting on the criminal, which melts his skin and melts everything. He's all disgusting. He goes right into the damn snow. But then leave it to the damn animation for cheap budgeting. All of a sudden you see the DNA growing little crystals. All of a sudden he comes back as a snowman.
and that part of the, I guess, lack of a better term, CGI, I actually like when they show the DNA crystals, and then when they show like the blood shrinking into the snow and all that stuff. That I actually liked. I will tell you that there's 3 films or series, whatever you want to call it, that this brought to mind when I watched it. The first one was Halloween Michael Myers, because of the issue of the transportation, and yet he somehow gets released while in transit to another prison or facility, whatever you want to call it. So that came to mind. Cape Fear, the 92 Robert De Niro version, it reminded me of that. Because here's this like scumbag criminal who like doesn't care at all, but he's cool as a cucumber, cocky, all that stuff, and he always somehow seems to overpower people, even cops, and get the better of him. And he's just this white trash smoking a cigarette and all this stuff. It reminded me of Robert De Niro playing Max Cady. And then the element of Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy, where it's like he appears out of nowhere and he kills people and has to make a corny joke ahead of time. But I think Freddy's jokes, even in Part 4 and later editions, were way better than Jack Frost's.
Well, Jack Frost will never be Freddy, so I liked it for what it was. It was fucking Frosty jokes, you know what I mean? It's fucking Frosty, you know, like he asked him, "Hey, how does it feel to die?" And he's all cold. I just started laughing. I was like, "What's he gonna say?"
Teeth and everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're icicle teeth. Like, come on, dude. It's a gimmick, and they do it like. I don't know if Chris, like, when he sees some of these, if he thinks he's supposed to take it seriously, but it's about, like, the fun factor, I guess. Maybe he's not having any fun, but I had a lot of fun watching. Like, I was just, like, laughing because it starts off, like, where we meet, like, what happened with Jack Frost, who, you know, Scott MacDonald plays him. And, like you said, the cop arrests him, and just how over the top, like, the guy plays the criminal, to where everything you were saying, like, I'm going to get you, your family, I'm going to kill everyone. I'm like, how the fuck was he able to get this guy arrested when he had him at gunpoint? Like, if he's acting like that, like, with handcuffs on, like, he's ready to run out. Like, I just thought that was funny that they completely oversold him, that it made it seem like he arrested that guy by himself, and, you know, after he's acting all fucking crazy. If he's acting that fucking crazy, I don't think they would get him in handcuffs, you know what I mean? Like, they'd have to kill him, like, you know. So I just thought that shit was funny.
He was such the serial killer was such a badass. Like, he was just like a really badass. But there's so many moments in this damn movie that it's funny, and like the kills are just like obnoxiously stupid. But it just still keeps you interested enough to where like you want to watch them. Like, in particular, like one of my favorite scenes is with Shannon Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you who don't know her, I actually met this lady. She is the foreign girl in American Pie, and honestly, I think that's where everyone really knows her as. She was the sexy Euro transfer girl.
Can I just say that Shannon Elizabeth, like, was when I was, like, at that age where I was like, man, I want to fuck bitches when I saw her, dude. So
I think we all wanted a pie too, man.
I went to the theater like a month before I turned 17 to see American Pie in the theater because it was for another friend of mine's birthday at the time, and he had just turned 17. So we went, and like I knew I had seen her in something before, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So after the movie, I Wikipedia'd it, and I was like, oh, her, yeah.
How can you not recognize a face like that? She's got to be one of the most beautiful chicks of this era. You know what I mean? Just god dang, just whoo.
Yeah, she is really nice. You know,
she's no. I'm not gonna say the name.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Like, honestly, I thought that movie was dumb as hell. Like, honestly, that was hard to watch. Even though Jack Frost is like, for horror, that's like on the same level. But American Pie was just so hard to watch. It was so stupid. But honestly, what kept me interested was, you know, the damn chicks. And personally, it was that Shannon Elizabeth. So I was like, well, shit, that's like the only reason to watch it. But she's in the shower scene in this damn movie. And so they just realized, like, oh, shit, you know, Jack Frost can melt himself into water to get under cracks, like under the door, and then pull himself back together. So, of course, you know, leave it to the next scene. That's exactly what he does. The girls were getting ready to take a shower, you know, trying to be all sexy, drops off her panties and all that. All of a sudden, the damn water starts, you know, trickling underneath the door. So, all of a sudden, it makes its way into the damn bathtub, and here comes the Frosty, you know, big old Jack Frost comes up. And he's like frozen along with her, like he's solid, and she's like stuck in his body, and he's slamming her body against the wall. Like, he's not even picking her up. He's not doing anything. She's like stuck in his body, and he's like kind of dry humping her against the wall until she falls down dead.
Like, he's doing that. He's got no leverage. That's the problem.
Yeah, he had said something about like coming or something like that.
yeah. What did he say? He saw like, oh, I hope it was good for you as it was for me. Or something stupid. But it was funny. But the coolest part though, during that scene, the girl is getting banged against the wall, and she's like screaming half to death. You know, she's like dying. But it does like it takes a look from outside. and it shows her arm waving. So it shows like somebody walking by, and they're like, "Oh, hey," and they start waving at her.
He goes,
"What a bunch of dumbasses."
He goes. I guess Christmas came early this year. That's what he said. I wrote it down.
It's more funny humor, like Gabe, we were laughing yesterday, I think, about what was it, the snowballs joke.
Oh yeah, man, that's like one damn joke they keep pushing throughout this damn movie. But you know what? Honestly, it's like one of those dad jokes, and it's stupid funny. So it just makes you laugh, even though it's ridiculous. What's the difference between snowmen and snow women? I don't want to hear it. I gotta go. No, seriously, it won't be that long. No, I gotta go. Snowballs. Hey, snowballs. Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was the funniest when the sheriff tells it to Jack. He goes, "Hey Jack, what's the difference between stupid?" And yeah, it was just a fucking funny movie. It wasn't anything like, serious, and I liked how it right off the bat kind of like you went right into shoot mode with like Jack kills people, pretty quickly. It's not just like you're waiting till the end to see this guy. It's like, no, he's killing a lot of people throughout the film. Like I remember him saying like a bunch of stupid shit. Like he kills it was the little piece of shit kid that's picking on the sheriff's son that's feeding him that slop, and it's like making slop throughout the entire film that just happened to have antifreeze. It's gonna try to kill his dad, but it saves everyone at the end. But his parents are the first ones to get killed. I mean, prior to the kid, but he doesn't really do much. Just kind of like pushes them in front of a sled. But they have a crazy kill scene. Like I just started laughing when he goes, "I was just going to ask you a question." But
when he's got that axe blade stuck in the tree stump. Yep.
Yeah. So it was all that, and like as you were talking about the shower scene. I thought it was amazing. The fucking Christmas tree scene where he's like killing that one chick and like he puts like the lights in her mouth and all kind. I thought that was like, man, this movie is already like, it made me laugh. I'm like, how many movies got the balls? How many movies have the balls to start off like we're like probably like 30 minutes in and all that shit's happening with the fucking working snowman? That takes guts to do.
Me going into this movie, I was thinking like Chris was thinking, like, hey man, this is gonna be like some kind of badass movie, like Freddy Krueger or something like this. And I should have thought better, thinking like, oh yeah, what should I really expect from a snowman? Mm. But no, this it was funny and it's stupid, but it's still like one of those memorable ones, like. You want to play a drinking game too. Take a shot every time someone says something stupid or whatever. It's a good movie. It's not too bad, but it does keep you interested, and there is a lot of shit in here.
It's good enough to watch every Christmas only, or every other Christmas, because it's like, it's not one I'm gonna watch throughout the year, like just randomly. But it's like, hey, it's Christmas. Let's watch some stupid ass Jack Frost and shit. There's way better ones. Like, I mean, I haven't seen it. I only saw it once, but we had talked about doing Krampus, but. That one wasn't streaming, and we try to do shit that me and Chris can watch, and I know you can watch everything, but, just for us to watch at our convenience. But yeah, when I saw Shannon Elizabeth, I was like right away like hooked. I'm like, man, they got some quality shit in here, because, I mean, it makes the movie funner and easier when you have fine chicks. Let's just be honest. If it's just like people you're not interested in, then you're kind of like, okay, well, we got a fucking snowman, but can we get some hot chicks on? I guess that's probably the appeal for like the Friday the 13th movies so much. They got the fine bitches. What do y'all think?
Honestly, I'm totally agree with you. Honestly, that was like when I first started watching horror movies when I was younger. I mean, honestly, that was a hook, line, and sinker there, man. It was the ladies, the blood, the gore, and then just like the freaking ass, weird ass monsters that they would have in these horror movies. So yeah, I mean, I always look forward to the topless scene. And sometimes, like when you're already looking at the cast, because they always start off holding hands, or they're all happy, or they're all joined together talking about whatever summer vacation they're gonna have, or some kind of wild trip. Your first glance is like, okay, well, let me look at the chicks. Yep. Yes, her. No, I'm not gonna do her. Yep, definitely her. So you kind of like, as you go on through the damn movie, you kind of hope and anticipate that maybe one of them will take off their tops.
And they're always trying to get, they're always sleeping with somebody, so that's the cue for like, yeah, with Shannon Elizabeth, yeah, she's like telling the dude to get her like wine and some shit or whatever, and that's when she starts taking like the 3-hour shower, of course. And I mentioned the scene, but I was laughing that like when Jack jumps in there, like the music that they play, it's like 50s rock and roll or something. I was like, man, this movie is just fucking. It just keeps getting more and more over the top, right? I mean, just when you think
it was like late 50s blues rock,
Yeah, there's a few other characters. I laughed at the shop owner that keeps pushing the 20% off on everybody. So I was laughing when he like walks into the murder of the parents, for the kid that dies earlier. And he walks in, he's wearing that funny ass like Uncle Buck hat, and Jack turns around and goes, "Hey, what's your name, little boy?" And like the guy like just starts selling, and he's like running off, and like the whole film, I thought for sure he was gonna die, but like he ends up surviving the whole film. But he was like funny the entire film, like he gets stuck through the window and everything too when they're trying to get out of the jail cell.
And I would say the first shocker scene for me was, you brought up the kid, like the taller, older. I mean, I don't think he was daily bullying, the son of the sheriff on a daily basis, but I mean, he was kind of an asshole to him, like when they want to go sledding, and then just the way his head, I didn't see it coming. The way his head just gets cut off by the sled blade, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it happened pretty quick. When he was bullying him, I don't know if it was me remembering the movie, but I'm like, oh, something's gonna happen to this fool, or Jack was gonna come back later on at night and kill him when he was out. I kind of like had that feeling, but yeah, that part was pretty funny, pretty over. The other guys, they have like the supposed FBI and that other guy that made the whole experiment that is Jack Frost. And
yeah, Manley, the FBI agent, and then the Jewish last name guy with the wavy hair that made that chemical that did to Jack Frost what he did to him. I, as a Christmas music connoisseur, I like that they put a dark twist or an evil twist on common Christmas songs. Like the one I really noticed was "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen."
You're gonna have to just tell us, because I'm not too familiar with the Christmas songs like the old CJ. So, I mean, was that the only one on there?
No, there were like 3 of them that they did that to, but the one that I remember off the top of my head was "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen."
I like the whole snow gimmick. There's not too many movies, or horror movies, I should say, that have like snow throughout the entire film, and I don't know, it kind of made you feel kind of cozy because everyone's wearing jackets and scarves and the hats, like I was saying, all that other stuff. So that's always like, I like that scenery a lot, and it's something different than just being out there in the woods or in a cabin and everyone's whatever the fuck. So it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for the season. They end up throwing Jack into a truck full of antifreeze. I mean, did that cross anybody's mind? I forgot about it. I was like, how are they going to kill him if they can't melt him? Because he keeps on coming back to life.
No, definitely. Like, I mean, honestly, that's probably like one of the greatest powers. Like, if you ever want to be like any kind of monster, you probably want to be the snowman, because, like, really, if this guy melts down to water, I mean, all he has to do is go with other water. I mean, like, how do you really even kill that? So, but they did find out, like, I think it was the little kid. He ended up saying, like, "Oh, I was just trying to help. What did you use on him?" He's all, "I used antifreeze." Antifreeze. So the town or the sheriff came up with this idea to go ahead and fill up the back of a pickup full of antifreeze. Now you're probably wondering, like, well, how did you do that without leaking? Well, they put like a plastic bedding in the back to make like a little kind of a swimming pool type of thing. So leave it to the last dramatic part for them to be fighting over and, life or death. They end up throwing the damn snowman in there, and he's all leave it to the guy, the hero. He's wrestling around with some kind of blob inside the back of a pickup. So it just looks ridiculous.
I laughed when that happened because, of course, he gets stabbed right before by Jack with the spear, and then they jump into it. And when they jumped into the antifreeze, all I could think of was, I'd be so freaking out, like, of getting antifreeze in my eyes or in my mouth or in my wound. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, I don't know I've never touched antifreeze or whatever, but I would just, think it would really sting if you get that anywhere other than in your fucking vehicle.
Depending on the type of antifreeze, but yeah, it can burn if you certain ones.
Well, would you want to go swimming in it?
Hell no, and that's the thing. And thank God that cop was clothed when he did that. He's got to throw those clothes off immediately, get showered like hell. But
well, no, he like grabs his son when little Timmy, whatever the fucking jackass name is, it gets hey Dad, what do I do with this? He has the arm, yeah.
And then the thing too is, yeah, like that's obviously the ending, how they win or prevail at least for the moment, is genius because it's antifreeze. I mean, he's the most powerful when he's a snowman. So if he's covered in antifreeze, he can't in water form as snow, frozen ice, whatever. So yeah, that's smart. But I later found out that there was a sequel to this. So I was like, great.
Man, Chris sounds really enthusiastic about the movie, dude.
I thought that the concept was so cool. Like, it's a great idea, and like it would even be a cool concept for like an X-Men character. This guy that can turn to water and then snow and all this stuff. I mean, Magneto could never touch him. Genius.
Well, it is a Clay Fighters character, so.
Oh, there you go.
I did see something. Oh, it is Clay Fighters. I forgot about that damn game. The only thing similar that I actually saw something like that would be on that TV show Heroes. If y'all ever seen that, there was a chick who ended up having like some kind of ice powers on there, and she can melt down. You thought they killed her off, and so it was like a big twist later on in that series. You find out she was still alive, and she was just pretty much, she just melts down to water, and then she just kind of comes back to life again. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Fuck it.
You're right, though. Oh, good.
No, go ahead.
Well, you're right though, Joe, because like you called that I would have my kind of eye rolling at this movie, and for some of it I did. Like a lot of the characters I liked. I loved the talking. I kind of got a chuckle out of the music. Like even the intro wasn't bad because I like the English narration voice, old school. That's pretty cool. But then the little girl was annoying. But just again, and I know it's 1997, but still, like if maybe they waited a couple of years and had more budget and had some better graphics, like. I guess for me, I'm the kind of person, like you're saying, everything's got to be Hollow Man. Everything's got to be serious, like the first Freddy or like the remake 2010 Freddy. Or everything's got to be Ghost. So, like that level of seriousness and really getting in my head. And like I want to be emotionally disturbed from the movie, but like I don't know. Like I guess I don't have the sense of humor for horror. You know what I mean? Like for some of.
You don't got a sense of humor for a lot of things. No, I mean, yeah, you're one of those guys that it needs to be true to. You said, well, how true to life is it? Like, well, if you're watching a movie about a snowman, I mean, you just have to understand that it's gonna be probably dumb, and how dumb is it gonna get? And to me, like this is crossing the line. I guess we'll get to the ratings now since I'm gonna break it down for y'all, but. I think this is like where you have to like cross the line whether we're gonna be serious or are we gonna be funny. Or it's a snowman, so they took it that route, and they put it over the top, but not too over the top where it's just stupid. Because I think everyone gave a pretty good performance. Everyone did really well. Where I think the worst actor was probably like the sheriff, because he just seemed kind of like all over the place, and like I was like laughing when he's kind of like telling everyone like, yeah, he's dead. He has to be, and he just kept like he just like bad line readings and shit. But it was good for what it was, and it was a fucking snowman movie, a slasher snowman, with funny lines, and it's about as good as you're gonna get for something like that. Now it's like, is it gonna be the best Christmas movie? Hell no, but it's the best. It's the best snowman movie, so I liked it a lot. It's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be or remembered it. I'll give it like a 6.8. It's good enough to where I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna recommend it to people. But if you're a horror movie fan, like a true horror movie fan, I guess like me and Gabe, we like watch a lot of this shit. And some people are more selective, obviously. So yeah, check it out. Like, but just for Christmas, you know, maybe once every 2 or 3 Christmases. But yeah, 6.8 for me, dude. But CJ,
I'm gonna give it a flat 6. There were redeeming elements of it. There were good elements of it, and you know I had hope, but in the end,
high hopes.
he's got high apple pie.
Yeah.
But okay, Rocky 6. But no, but the thing is, like you know, like you said, like we said, I'm more serious when it comes to horror. I want to be emotionally disturbed. I want to be like thinking about the movie when I'm alone at home at night, and like every time I hear something sound and like remember that movie and like who's doing it? Like I guess I'm.
You start yelling. Yeah, I know you.
But yeah, I mean, could have been great, but I was kind of let down. But I'll give it a flat 6. We've seen worse. I mean, my gosh, we've seen Jason X.
Yeah, that's true. I watched this. I watched this 100 times over Jason X. But Gabe, man, what did you think about the movie? You know, overall thoughts, rating, and you know, get it over, son.
All right. Well, pretty much this is like the same thing as I remembered it back then, and honestly, like I still feel like the emotions and everything, and the surprise and the dumb one-liners and all that. It's still the same for me, but it's only good during the holidays. So I think if we just stick to it, just being the holidays, and you just kind of want to watch something cheesy like Sharknado or something, you know, like those kind of type of movies, you know. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go with at least like a 6.5, because like honestly, there's so many damn good movies, and yeah, we'll definitely watch so many other good movies too, like newer ones, old classic ones. You know, we have our favorites. This movie just isn't up there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if you're bored, you want something to watch, I mean, or at least something different, you want to chuckle a bit, I would go with this one. This movie's pretty good. It's nothing to be taken seriously. Have a few beers, check it out. Why not, right? Have a good night.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I exactly. It's one of those that you have to see at least once. I mean, it's one of those to where I'm like, yeah, you have to see it once. It's good. I enjoyed it. It's like I said, it's a seasonal movie, obviously, because the whole thing, but it's good enough to stay on there. Now, it's not as good as some of the other ones that we talked about, Krampus, and before we go, I mean, do you have any news, and you want to talk about some other films that people should be watching during this Christmas time? Because it actually will be posted either Friday or Saturday, so it'll still be in December. So we're doing good time.
Oh, cool. Well, man, I'm really sorry. Usually I'm always on top of these things, but I'm sadly at this point I don't really have any news because I've been so caught up with everyday life and drama. So, but the only things I can really tell you about that I'm actually really excited for is Scream 5. Yeah, I was reading. I did happen to catch a little read on that thing. What's pretty cool on that is that they already had all the cast and everybody, and picked out like who the killers are going to be and all that. And apparently they're really keeping it really tight knit. You know who the killer is. They don't want to let anything out, just like the previous films that I guess they'll really get in trouble if they end up spilling the beans on who the killer might be. But apparently they said it's such a huge twist that this is going to blow all the other ones out of the water. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm pretty excited about Scream 5. They got Mega Man. They're going to make that on Netflix movie, just like the Cowboy Bebop, if y'all seen that. They're going to be making a Mega Man movie now.
Is it going to be like the same where it's like live action or
Yep.
Wow.
Live action. So
wow. Yeah.
I don't know how to take that because, you know, if you've seen the damn cartoons, you played the video games.
I
you
love fucking Mega Man.
Oh, I like the Mega Man X, the one for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
That thing was like always fun, man. You know, well, if you like the classics, but either way, Netflix has that coming out, and I think the only thing everyone's been talking about like nonstop is the damn Spider-Man movie.
Oh my god!
Everyone is so hyped up on that shit. I mean, they want to see all them. They want to see all those Spideys get together. They want to see those old villains. I mean, yeah, they got Jamie Foxx back in there. They got the Green Goblin. Oh, I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Either way,
William Dafoe, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're familiar with all the Tobey Maguire movies, so they got those characters coming on back. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, people are hyped up on Spidey. It's not really horror, I understand. Same thing with Mega Man, but honestly, been so caught up and busy. I mean, this is all I can get right now. But, yeah, Scream 5, I mean, I would say I'm pretty excited about that. And, yes, I'm going to go see Spider-Man. I don't know when, because apparently tickets all, you know, all the good seats were all taken, so I guess I have no choice but to wait, so... Damn it.
Good things are just period.
Yeah, everyone got a hold of good seats way before I did, and you would think I would be first in line, but some people are faster with their fingers on the internet than I am. Shit.
Yeah, no shit. I might go. I'm gonna see what my brothers do. I might go see Spider-Man tonight. I see Casablanca's got a few seats open at 10:45, and I wasn't sure if how late and whatever was going on, but I'm like, it was the first kind of Marvel movie in a while that I was like really excited, really like I couldn't wait. Like right now, I'm telling you, I'm like, man, I'm looking for. I forgot about it. Like, oh shit, there's some Casablanca ones, so might go.
Oh man, so you're already gonna go and watch the darn thing?
I'm thinking about it. I got like an hour. I can tell, you know.
Well, if you watch it, at least spoil it for me. I don't mind spoilers. I like spoilers because either way, when I go and watch it, I still get excited, and I'm just like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
What I'm curious about, because they're bringing all the damn old villains back, I want to see if they bring Venom back. Not that Tom Hardy, not that newer Venom. I want to see that old old
70s show
Venom come back.
The 70s show guy, right? Yeah, he comes out. Yeah, I loved him. Yeah. It was perfect because it's like a small guy and like he turns into this crazy dude, and he's not, and he plays evil so good when he comes out. When he came out in Predators, as the doctor that like stabs. I loved him so. No, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to ask my brother, hey, what are you busy? We're going to go see the movies? He might not want to because we're probably not going to get off till, you know, when the movie's over. It starts at 10:45, even though I have like a half day tomorrow. I'll probably get home at like 2. I'll be exhausted, but that's just me. That's just my excitement.
Dude,
I'm ready to do it.
So worth it if you go, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm
so
like, yee, doing that Chris thing. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed Jack Frost, and we'll see you on the next one.
Man, you gotta be shitting me. That mother's strong.
Peace.
I'm out.